Okay, in this second performance, Albert Saw. This is an ode to the great Albert King, and really highlighting, using the groove of his famous tune, Cross-Cut Saw, which is well worth checking out. And he redid it several times throughout his career, early on like this type of groove, and then later in the 70s as a funk tune. There are 3 chords that we're using in here. We're using the 1, the 4, and the 5. And this bass line, I would say, it's really a pattern-oriented line where I'm outlining the triad, the 1, 3, 5, and the 6th of the chord. And I'm using those key notes on all the chords, just moving it through. And then again, like the last bass line, instead of taking the same shape with my hands and then moving it, which I could do, I played it across the neck. All right? Just for the same reasons I explained before. Just keeping it in one position, not moving my hands, and keeping it all there. Unlike the last bass line, I'm using a very limited amount of pitches. And the embellishments that I used in here were really in response to what the pianist and the drummer were playing behind me. I might vary using the octave. And then maybe here. Dee-da-dee-da, using the leading tone that I was talking before about, which is still in the chord of the A flat chord. This is an A flat blues, so we have the A flat, the D flat, and E flat, all as major or dominant chords, except for I'm not playing the 7. I'm instead using the 6. That's really the subdivision I'm feeling underneath it. So that would be a possible variation, which I didn't play in the recording, but I did just now. So there you go. Okay, to summarize this performance, or this style, so this is really a pattern-oriented line, which you're using the same pattern in each of the chords. I'm not going to use as many different notes outside of the 6 chord sound that I'm playing with, the 1, 3, 5, 6. Occasionally I use the octave. And if I'm going to use embellishments, I could use the notes of the major pentatonic scale, which is basically exactly what we're playing, 1, 3, 5, 6, and the octave. Just a tip, in playing this kind of pattern-oriented line, you really want to keep your fills somewhat to a minimum. You can fill, but you don't want to dilute the pattern, because that's part of the strength of the tune. It's like a riff. It's a repeating pattern, and that's kind of an anchor in the tune. Again, like before, really focus on locking with the drums, be in the pocket. And if you fill, never fill and lose the beat. It's much stronger, much better option to stay simple and be in the pocket than play a bunch of notes and lose it. Like, that's a lesson, and a very important lesson as a bass player. You're going to work much more when you play in the pocket rather than, oh, look at all the notes I can play out of time. One's much better than the other. Play in time. Okay, let's move on to the next one.